welcome to my channel. Hope you have a wonderful day. Today's style is going to be based on how to cut an asymmetric embellished neck chiffon. It's a tunic dress using this paper illustration to cut it out. I'm using this as a pattern to cut it out. So for that particular style, you can also achieve that same shape and the style to be like that. You can only use 3.5 or 4 yards of fabric. So now I'm using this to cut it out, but it depends on the length of the person you are sewing it for. So assuming it's for length 59, 60, 1 staple, they are using 4 yards to make it exactly that shape. So now I'm using this to cut it out. I'm folding this into 2 first, then into 4. So now this is into 2 already, then I'm folding this into 4 like a triangle. Can see this edge? I'm going to make use of this edge. Then I'm folding it this way like a triangle. You can see it like a triangle. This is into 4. Since I'm using paper for the illustration, I won't get a long length, but if you're using a fabric, you're going to get any length you want from the fabric. But here I'm using paper, so I can't get the length more than this. The length cannot be more than this. So now I'm going to cut it out. Well, the first thing I'm going to do here is to take the measurement. So I'm going to make a circle measurement. So I don't know what this is going to give me. So the length, I'm not using this length, I'm using this length. The length here is 32 inches, 32 inches, 32 inches, 32 inches, and 32 inches here too. So I'm going to join the sketch together. So this, you can see, this is, I have my round shape here. So the next thing I'm going to do is to cut it out. But mind you, if you are using a fabric, don't cut it out like this at the beginning. So the first thing you're going to do, if you are using a fabric, the first thing you're going to do is to measure the shoulder. Just from here, trace where you can get shoulder. Yeah, I'm using shoulder 7. So trace from here to here. Trace here where you can get shoulder 7. So I'm starting from here. Let me see. From this 9 inches, maybe I can get my shoulder 7. Yes, I can get the shoulder 7. You can see it here. But I want more allowance, more than this. So I'm going to shift down a little bit. So let me make it from 10. Yeah. This is shoulder 7. So I have enough allowance that I want. So this is my shoulder 7. So I'm going to do it this way. The shoulder, the arm 7 as well. So for the bust here, I'm using 34 for the bust. So this is 8.5 into 4 places. Give us 34 inches. So with the same allowance of 1 inch. So after that, the next thing you're going to do is to cut it down from here to the edge. So then you join the sketch up here too. The next thing to do now is to cut it out. To the armhole, like this. So this is how it's going to be. This is the shoulder, the armhole, then the leg. So the next thing I'm going to do is to cut out the neck. The neck, the wideness of the neck here, I'm using 3.5 inches. I'm using 3.5 inches for the wideness of the neck. For the thickness of the neck here, I'm using 3 for the thickness of the neck. So this 3 I'm using for the thickness for the front neck. So I'm going to use 2 for the back neck. So this is 2 inches for the back neck. You can see it. So the next thing I'm going to do is to join the sketch like this. For the back, and like this for the front. So the first thing I'm going to cut is the back neck, like this. Then I'll now open to cut the front neck. I'll open it this way, then I'll cut the front neck like this. I'm going to place it back. The next thing you're going to do now is to cut out the 4 opening sides. The one at the front, the one at the back, and the 2 sides. So the next thing to do now is to shape it out before cutting. So I'm going to measure it from the shoulder to where you want the opening to start from. So placing my tape rule from here. So assuming it's length 59 or 60 inches length. So where the opening starts from is from 40 downward. So that means the opening consists of 20 inches. But now since I'm using paper illustration to cut it, I'm only making use of at least 8 inches here, like this, 8 inches. So now, so it depends on how you want it, but don't make it too wide. So let me take the measurement. 10 inches here. I'm using 10 inches. So from this 10 inches, like this. So the two, I'm cutting both front and the back together. Like this, you can see it. So the next one is the 2 sides. So to cut the 2 sides, just put a sewing allowance of at least 2 inches of sewing allowance. By the time you do the hemming from here to here, this side hemming and the other side hemming is going to have a sharp edge. So you can even reduce this to 1.5 inch for it to have a sharp edge. So from the picture, you can see this particular plate, the front and the back, is more longer than the side one. So like here now, I use 10 inches from here to here. So for the side own, I'm going to use at least 6 inches because they are not of the same length. So you're going to measure from here, from this edge, measured 7 inches, You can also make it of 6 inches like I said earlier, so it depends on how you want it. So let me use this 7 inches since I'm using paper illustration for it to show very well. So from here now, I'm going to make a, ignore this one, I'm using this one, I'm using this 1.5 inches. Like this. So now I'm going to cut it out. So now cutting it like this. So this is how you can see the shape. The next thing to do here is to open it for you to see how it looks like. So you can see it. This is the armor. Don't mind this particular one, you know, if you're using a fabric with a longer length, it's going to be very wide, like the one you're seeing on the picture. But make sure you cut it exactly, so it's going to come out very well when you cut it like that. The next thing now is to cut out the, it has a button at the back. If you want it to have a button, fine. If you want to make your neck to be wider than this, that there's end of zip or button, fine. So assuming you want a button here, you're going to make it of the back. This is the front, so you're going to keep this aside now, and this is the back. You're going to cut it into 2 like this, up to 3 inches or 4 inches, and that's, so you're going to stitch it. So if you want to put a zip, you can cut it up to 10 inches or 12 inches or more than that if you're making use of a longer zip. But if you're making use of button, so you're just going to cut it up to like 5 to 4.5 inches, then you stitch it and put your button, and that is all for the back. So this is how it's going to look like when you open it. Then it remains how to stitch it. So when you want to stitch this particular style, you're going to place the two on each other like this. Firstly, stitch these 2 shoulders, then you can see that particular one does not have sleeve. For if you are making use of sleeve, you can cut out the sleeve. So the next thing you're going to do after stitching the shoulder, then the 2 sides. This is the side and the other side too. After that, you can see this one, this place there is an opening. When you join this place together, it's going to look like this. Then you do the hemi like this, fold it in, you do the 2 hemi like this, you can see. Then after that you do the hemi is going to go through this particular area too after that, and you're going to stitch the armhole too, because it's an armless. But if you are putting a sleeve, fine, so you can make it of a short sleeve or 3/4 sleeve, it's going to look fine on it. But if you're making it like this to be an armless gown, so it will be fine as well. So this is the end of today's tutorial. The one you're seeing on the screen will be on the next tutorial. So stay cool and watch. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like and share. Bye.